Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, would do how we live. And let's start a series, NBA Mount Rushmores, where I name who I believe are the four best players in each decade. Just finished up with the NHL, did NFL and MLB earlier this year. All in players, you could check them out. Previously did NBA Mount Rushmore's four best players in each franchise's history, four best players each position, NBA history. All of these will be in a playlist as well as these decades for NBA Mount Rushmore's. But start with the 2010s, hopefully. By the end of 2020s, I'll still be making videos, and I could do that then. But for the 2010s, I'm considering the seasons 2009-10 to 2018-19. So the four I decided to include in alphabetical order are Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and LeBron James. Admittedly, I'm not a huge James Harden guy, more of a Russell Westbrook guy. So that it was really tough to decide who to put on. Really between those two. Gave the slight edge to Harden. Some other honorable mentions. I mean, Chris Paul. Definitely Carmelo Anthony. Kawhi Leonard. Definitely. A couple down seasons to start the decade. Well, not spectacular seasons, I should say. Kyrie Irving, guy like Kobe Bryant, who got hurt towards the end of his career and had some subpar seasons by his standard. Damian Lillard, Giannis. Just didn't play the whole decade. Dirk, same as Kobe, his last few seasons weren't as good. But those are the four I named. Let's get into those four. Starting with Stephen Curry. His rookie season was 2009-10. Of course, played the whole decade with the Golden State Warriors, where he still is. And in that time, he won back-to-back MVPs in 2014-15 and 2015-16. Also had MVP finishes of 5th, 6th twice, 10th, and 11th. Made the All-Star team each of the last 6 seasons in the decade, and was All-NBA all 6 of those seasons. 3 first team, 2 second team, and 1 third team. Won 3 championships, 2015, 2017, 2018. For the decade, his numbers: 694 games. Curry averaged 23.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 6.6 assists, 1.7 steals. He he shot 47.7% from the field, 43.6% from deep, with 3.6 makes per game, 90.5% from the free throw line. Was this decade where people believed he's the best shooter of all time, and they still do. But in the decade, Curry did win a scoring title in 2015-16. Each of the last 7 seasons, averaged at least 22.9 points, averaged more than 25 each of the last 4. Led the league in free throw percentage 4 times. Led the league in steals 2.1 in 2015-16. Led the league in three-pointers made 6 times in the decade. Never shot less than 40% from three-point territory in any of the seasons, and in 2015-16 actually shot over 50% from the field. Averaged more than 5 assists every season in the decade, including 2013-14 when he averaged a career high 8.5. Pretty much every season except the last, average at least 1.5 steals. But yes, as I mentioned, won 3 titles. Unfortunately, his Finals MVP, well, not unfortunately, really, but his Finals MVP did come in 2022. But in the decade in the playoffs, 112 games, averages 26.5 points, 5.4 rebounds, 6.3 assists, 1.6 steals, shot 40.1% from beyond the arc, 90.6% from the field. Stephen Curry, the first member of my 2010s Mount Rushmore. Next, let's go with KD, Kevin Durant. Durant played the first 7 seasons of the decade with the Thunder, and the last 3 with the Warriors from 2009-10 to 2018-19. He had won an MVP in 2013-14. Finished runner-up 3 times, 5th twice, 7th, 8th, and 9th in the decade. Was an all-star all 10 seasons. Was all NBA in 9 of them. 6 first teams and 3 second teams. So, consistently was one of the best players in the league. Won 2 championships with the Warriors in 2017, 2018. If we take a look at his numbers for the decade, Durant played in 695 games, averages 28 points 7.4 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 1.1 steals, 1.2 blocks. Shot 50.1% from the field, 38.4% from deep, 88.5% from the charity stripe. He won the scoring title each of the first 3 years in the decade, and then 2013-14 as well. Every season averaged more than 25 points per game. That's why he's consistently moving up the scoring list, as he's still playing today, obviously. Averaged more than 6 rebounds every season, averaged at least 3.5 assists every season after the first two. Often averaged more than a block per game. The first 3 seasons didn't shoot over 50% from the field, but the last 7 in the decade all were over 50% from the field. He had 3 different seasons where he shot more than 40% from beyond the arc. 3 times led the league in free throws made per game. Led the league in free throw percentage in 2012-13. One of the game's great scorers, whether it was from inside, mid-range, or deep. As I mentioned, won 2 titles with the Warriors in the decade. Durant played in 139 playoff games, averages 29.1 points, 7.7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 1.2 blocks. Kevin Durant, the second member of the 2010s Mount Rushmore. Next, let's go with James Harden. His rookie season was also 2009-10, played the first 3 seasons of the decade with the Oklahoma City Thunder, the final 7 with the Houston Rockets, and in the decade, Harden was named MVP in 2017-18. Also had MVP finishes of runner-up 3 times, 5th, 8th, and 9th. His last season with the Thunder, 2011-12, they made the finals, and he was also named 6th Man of the Year. All-Star each of the last 7 seasons in the decade. All-NBA in 6 of them, 5 first teams, and 1 third team. Take a look at his numbers. For the decade, Harden played 765 games, averages of 24.3 points, 5.2 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 1.6 steals. Shot 36.5% from three-point territory, 85.7% from the charity stripe. The last 2 seasons, Harden won back-to-back scoring titles, actually won the following year after a decade, but an incredible 36.1 points per game in 2018-19. Also led the league in assists in 2016-17. Each of his last 5 seasons of the decade had at least 7 assists. Had 3 seasons with over 6 rebounds per game, at least a steal per game every year in the decade. Led the league in 3-pointers made per game, 2017-18. Was a guy who lived at the charity stripe. 6 different seasons led the league in free throws made and free throws attempted per game, and was over 80% from the charity stripe every season. Now, Harden did not win a title. Still hasn't, as he's currently on the Clippers, but did reach the NBA Finals in 2012 with the Thunder, and had a couple deep runs with the Houston Rockets. Unfortunately, it was usually the Thunder who got in the way. Has had some playoff woes at times, but overall in the decade, 116 games, 22.9 points, 5.4 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 1.8 steals. James Harden, the third member of my 2010s Mount Rushmore. Let's end with LeBron James. First season was with the Cavaliers in the decade. Then, of course, went to Miami for 4 seasons. Went back to Cleveland for 4 seasons. This final season in the decade was with the LA Lakers. So, if we take a look at those 10 seasons, LeBron won 3 MVPs, 2009-10 with the Cavs, 2011-12, and 2012-13 with the Heat. Also had MVP finishes of runner-up twice, 3rd 3 times, 4th and 11th. Made the all-defensive team each of the first 5 seasons of the decade. 4 first team, 1 second team. Was all NBA first team each of the first 9 seasons of the decade, and 3rd team in the last. Just some incredible years for LeBron. Some consider him the GOAT. Of course, he's the all-time leading scorer now. Much of the damage was done in this decade, so he played 726 games in the 2010s. Averages of 26.9 points, 7.7 rebounds, 7.6 assists, 1.5 steals. Shot 52.9% from the field during that time. So LeBron averaged more than 25 points per game in every season of the decade. Streak that went on up until this season, but was a triple-double threat. almost every night. So for the decade, he had a total of 57 triple doubles, 18 coming in 2017, 18, 13 coming in 2016, 17. In the decade, LeBron shot over 50% from the field in 9 of the 10 seasons. Um, was a guy who got to the line a lot, averaging uh, 7.7 free throws per game, shot 35.3% from three-point territory. Won 3 titles in the decade: 2012, 2013 with the Heat, 2016 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. If we take a look at his numbers in the decade in the playoffs, 179 games, posted averages of 28.8 points, 9.1 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.8 steals, 1 block, shot 50.4% from the field. LeBron James, the fourth member of the 2010s Mount Rushmore. I forget if I said, but I named them alphabetical order by last name. They're not in any order. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree. I really didn't want to put Harden. I'm not gonna lie. His regular season numbers are way better than Kawhi's, and I think over 200 more games than him. And I love Westbrook as well. Chris Paul definitely has a case, but let me know if you agree, disagree. Tomorrow, I'll take a look at the 2000s. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.